Right, typical bank holiday Monday. We've had a heat wave last week right up to the bank holiday weekend, and it all turns to you know what rubbish. We've had a bit of rain this morning, which I'm not complaining about, but apart from that it's been a lot cooler, but still it's sunny, still pretty much a pure blue sky, and it is a lot cooler than it had been. So we were getting, we weren't getting the temperatures like in London and some places inland, because I am right on the east coast here in Suffolk, but we having some good weather. We had, I don't know, 22, 23 a lot of days. Today it's about 15 degrees, a lot cooler. But I think I mentioned this maybe a month ago. I mentioned it the last couple of years. I've got this Mexican lily here, which every year I'm thinking, oh, this year is going to be the year it's going to flower. So this is again, this is going to be a plant that I brought probably early on when I started the channel, so nearly 4 years ago, from a very small plant, about £7, and the last couple of years it's really filled out and got big, and we've got a flower spike, and it's looking quite impressive. So this is I always say it looks like sort of quite a nice substitute for an agave if you don't want anything too dangerous and too sharp and prickly, because it looks very similar to like one of the big agaves, but just soft leaves. Still got the glaucous bluish green leaves, but hardy, takes a little bit more damp than an agave would, and really nice looking plant. And as we can see, it's going to flower. I believe these are monocarpic, so that means they're going to die after they flower, but like agaves, there's a couple of big pups on the sides which will take over the main growth on that, so that's good to see. Obviously I'll do a video specifically on that when the time comes, when it's in flower, and we'll see how impressive it really is. Been waiting for that one for a few years. The echium has now started to, when I got this I didn't know, from the guy who gave it to me, he weren't sure what the colour would be. I can see now it's sort of a purple, light purpley blue. So over winter this was about this tall. They shot up. It's not going to be one of these giant tree echiums by the looks of it. I weren't sure what type it was at all. But again, that is probably about 6 foot at the minute. I imagine it would grow a bit taller as it flowers. It's a bit of a funny one because it's actually planted right over here, and it's sort of the trunk, if you like, it's fell over and come all the way along here, then it's gone up again. So whether that has affected the height, well obviously it has, because we've lost about 2 foot where it's fell over, but whether that would have got a lot taller, I don't know. Right, so we've got an interesting new flower on that, and we already looked at the Phoenix canariensis, which is flowering for the first time for me. So I've had that one about 15 years. I've just noticed we've got a waggy here, Trachycarpus wagnerianus. These ones from Hardy Palms maybe about 6 years ago, and they were $4.99 each. They already had a little bit of trunk on them, nice little palms, and they've been in the ground. I brought 4 at a time. They've all been in the ground the same amount of time. This is the biggest one. I've got one over there which is half the size, and I've got one over in there, and I've got one in the front, and they're all a lot smaller. This one, for whatever reason, it doesn't really get much more sun than any of the others, but this one has sort of outgrown the rest of them. But this year, for the first time, we've got some flowers on that side, and there's one big one coming out this side, so that's good. But what isn't so good is my big Trachycarpus at the back, which has been flowered for the last 2 years, isn't flowering this year. I was hoping to get a cross pollination, but that looks like out of the question. I have got a Trachycarpus nova here, which again is not, that's not flowered for me yet. I thought it might be the year, but that's obviously a little bit too small trunk wise. I mean, the plant itself is about 7 foot, but the trunk is probably about 3 foot, so that's, even though the trunk is similar, sort of a little bit taller than this waggy, obviously these are sort of more a dwarf form, the waggies, so no chance of cross-pollinating anything this year, but still nice to see that you know, a baby palm that I've looked after for a few years is come into flower. It's always quite a nice thing to see. Right, so we've got this Torbay Dazzler here. I don't think I might have hazed over it in the last video. As you can see, it's sort of pretty much browned off and dead. This is the one, I won't say it's winter damage, but it is sort of. It's not cold damage. It's when we had a really strong wind, one of the storms, and the it collapsed, it got blown over basically. It was still attached in the ground with the roots, but obviously the main root had snapped, so it's just like lots of little roots, and so I propped it up and it looked fine all winter, but since it's been quite dry and sunny, obviously it's got not enough roots to support the foliage has got, so the foliage has died other than the stuff right in the middle. And to be fair, that has got some green left in the middle, so what I am going to do is I'm going to cut off all the dead foliage and just leave a couple of the centre green leaves, and we'll see if that can recover this summer from the taproot being snapped. So normally it's a kiss of death for any plant that's got a taproot. If that sort of gets damaged, that's normally the end of the line, but we're going to give it a chance. We're going to cut all the dead foliage off and we'll see what happens. Regardless of whether it lives or dies, there is another one behind it anyway, so don't know if you can see that, but that will take its place if that one does or does not make it. The inset Heniba, that is still looking good. That's not got sunburnt at all, that's good, and it's even growing for me. So yeah, really nice banana. I mean, it's not hardy, you have to, you know, overwinter it, but you know, this time of year when your Musa Bajus are sort of pushing out first or second sort of deformed leaves and still looking really rough, you can get that out in the garden and that looks, you know, mint straight away, and that'll grow away straight away. Whereas the Musa Bajus, yes, they're hardy, but they're gonna be June before they look anything good with a couple of leaves, where this one is, you know, 4 leaves, working on the 5th and looking really good already, and they're a bit more wind resistant as well. So I have popped in a couple of little hostas, and don't ask me names, I've already forgotten, but they are bigger ones. I think this one's Big Daddy, which had already sort of gone to flower, so it's not going to produce any big leaves this year. I've got another one here which is supposed to be quite a big type. Like I say, I've already forgot what that one is. But that's supposed to be about 3 foot tall, 4 foot across. And I've got another one here which is stained glass, and this is supposed to get quite big. I mean, I don't think the leaves get big, but it just really, I said 4 foot across, 3 foot high again. So with the stained glass, obviously it's referring to the leaves, the variegation on that, but again, already eaten by slugs and snails, along with the Hosta T-Rex. Looking better than it did last year. The slugs haven't been quite so bad this year, but still getting eaten. And I've got a blue mammoth somewhere down here, which is only just started to come out, and it's already pretty much eaten by slugs. This one, the slugs love this one, I don't know why, but last year it came to nothing, and this year it's going to do exactly the same. nice bromeliad there, covering up the dead Nico palm. I have got another Nico palm down the bottom in a pot. Looks mint. Just so much easier to keep in a pot and overwinter it cold. Give up growing them in the ground. Yeah, that is a really nice bromeliad, nice tropical pink. It's now in the shade. It does get a bit of morning sun, but I didn't want to bleach out the colour too much. On the subject of hostas, this is the summoned substance. So I've got a lot of the big types, and this is one of the ones I found which is quite a thick leaf, which tends to be a little bit more slug resistance. Last year it did get hammered. The year before it got absolutely massive. I'm hoping we'll get some big leaves out of that this year. It can potentially fill this whole front, and it does. You can't even see the palm tree behind it. And saying that, this is the hardy parlour palm, and this is actually flowering for the first time for me as well. You can see that, and it is a cluster, so I'm hoping one of the others. I can't see any flower spikes in any of the others. That's the problem. There's a potentially so this is Chamaedorea radicalis, or hardy parlour palm. Potentially could cross-pollinate, because there's 7 plants here in a cluster. But yeah, by the looks of it, it's just the one that's flowering, so again, probably no seeds off that this year. Quick update on the Brassiops fatsoides. That's now in the ground. That's where it's going to stay. Looking quite nice at the minute, still quite small. We'll see what sort of growth that produces over summer. It's probably about 1 foot tall. We've got 3 nice leaves on it and a couple emerging. So this is probably not ideal conditions, because they really want full sun, and this is, it does get over half day sun, but at this time of day it's in dappled shade. Right, so that is it for a few updates. Colocasia esculenta, left in the ground all winter, grown away nicely. It's actually ahead of the pink china. It did have a cloche over it, so it obviously warmed up a bit and got that going a bit quicker. But yeah, a lot of the pink china still just on their sort of 2nd or 3rd leaf, but that's already looking quite nice little plant. Alright, so before I go, we'll just have a look at we'll just have a reminder of the Nico palm, which I tried to overwinter the first year, -7. It survived, took damage but survived. This year, -4, it's dead. Don't ask me why, other than probably a bit drier. So let's have a look at the other one. So we bought 2 at the same time. I think they only paid about 37 quid each for them, so I got 2 specifically to try one in the garden and to have one as a potted plant. And never mind the mess, I've got some fertiliser to spread on the garden there. But yeah, so this is what they can look like, or should look like. So this is in quite a deep pot. So that is what the Nico palm, when they look at their best, that's what they look like. They are really nice palms. Yeah, I won't try this one in the garden. That'll be a potted specimen, and possibly, well, I'll just get up potted until a point where it gets too big. Then that may well go in a garden in about 10 years time. They're slow. Right, thanks for watching. I haven't actually got round to doing my new raised bed yet. I am working on it. I did manage to kill my bamboo, potted bamboo. I just haven't been watering it, and it's all dried out. There is still a few bits of green on it, so it will hopefully come back. I've now got it on drip along with the tree ferns in these pots, so hopefully by midsummer that'll look a bit greener again. If not, I'll dump it. But yeah, I've got some, and these are not the plants that are going to go in this new raised planter here, but some of them are, but some of them aren't. Yeah, that's a video for another day when I get round to filling that with soil and finishing that off fully. Right, so again, thanks for watching. I keep saying that and then I keep seeing something else. Yeah, so the Arundo Danax, Spanish reed. Again, most people cut this back, and I was planning to cut this back before it started regrowing, but now it started regrowing. It actually didn't look too bad, so I'm going to leave it. So these are well over 3 meters tall. I do get new canes come up every year. In fact, we've got quite a nice one. Let's see if we can get in closer. So this is how nice they look when they're nice, new, fresh growth. Really nice, variegated, big leaves. But I prefer this way over any bamboo, anytime. Not as invasive. Looks so nice. Really big leaves. Really nice variegation. Even, like I say, if you leave them, and they will die back to an extent, but they do come back again, and they'll all flush out nice and green. Right, let's see if I can get out of here without falling over. Right, so I am going to go this time. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.